Welcome to Sir Robert Chiduk Tutorials. Learning is 24/7. Hello and welcome to Sir Robert Chiduk Tutorials. Today we are going to look at the levels of structural complexity, as you can see from the diagram. This is introduction to the human body. So we are starting with the human body, which is anatomy and physiology of the human body. It is very important for you to know what anatomy is and to know what physiology is. Anatomy is the study of structures. Anatomy is simply the study of body structures and their associated function. Physiology is the study of how different body structures work. It is the study of how different body structures work. So generally, this is anatomy and physiology. So I'm introducing you to the human body. So our learning objectives are like this. You must be able to define the terms internal environment and homeostasis in future. Today, we want to look at the levels of structural complexity for you to be able to know the levels at which the human body is organized, because the human body is organized at different levels of complexity, which are the levels of organization. So let me start this way. The human body is organized at chemical level, at cellular level, at tissue level, at organ level or organismal level, and then at system level, and then we've got the human being. Let me now explain each of those stages. The first stage is the chemical level. So the human body is organized at chemical level. At chemical level, different atoms combine to form molecules, and we have different molecules in the human body. The DNA itself is the molecule. We have protein molecule and a whole lot of molecules which are in the human body. So the atoms combine to form the molecules. So when the molecules combine, they form the cells. So now we are looking at cellular level. When the molecules combine from the chemical level, they form the molecules. So now let us look at the cellular level. What is a cell? Now that we are looking at the cellular level, we need to know what a cell is. A cell is the smallest independent functional unity of the human body. Now that I have talked about a cell, all human processes, all body processes, metabolic processes, they occur within a cell. So now that I've talked about a cell, we have different types of cells. And these different types of cells, they perform different functions. For example, we have, as you can see from that diagram, that one is a smooth muscle cell. So we have muscle cells. We also have different cells. For example, if we go to the liver, we have hepatocytes. If we go to the brain, we have neurons. So we have different types of cells which perform different specialized functions. So this is for cells. So when the cells now combine, they form the tissues. When different types of cells combine, they form the tissues. When cells combine, they form the tissues. So each type of cell combine to form its own type of tissue. So we have different types of tissues. Like I indicated earlier, I want to say with different types of cells. For example, the neurons, which are the nerve cells, they combine to form the nervous tissue. The hepatocytes, which are the cells of the liver, they combine to form the liver tissue. If you now go to another system, for example, the bones, different cells which combine to form the bone tissue. If we go to the musculoskeletal system, different types of muscle cells combine to form the muscle tissue. So we have different types of tissues in the human body. So for example, according to this diagram, if smooth muscle cells combine, they form the smooth muscle tissue. If the epithelial cells, for example, combine, they form the epithelial tissue. If the connective tissue cells, for example, combine, they form the connective tissue. If the nerve cells combine, they form the nervous tissue. If the bone cells combine, they form the bone tissue. So it continues like that. So now, that was the tissue level in which the human body is organized. Now the tissues will also combine. And when the tissues combine, they form an organ. Now that I've mentioned about the organ, you need to know what an organ is. What is an organ? An organ is a body structure with a definite or a recognizable shape. So an organ is identified by a recognizable shape or a definite shape. For example, we have different types of organs in the human body. Now, before I mention those organs, you must know that an organ is made up of different types of tissue. An organ is made up of different types of tissue. And we have different types of organ in the human body. For example, according to this diagram, there is a stomach as an organ. As you can see, a stomach has got a recognizable shape, a definite shape. So now, another thing that makes it an organ as well, it is made up of different types of tissue. As you can see, it is bisected and sectioned, and you can see through different types of tissues that form the stomach. As you can see, there are layers of smooth muscle tissue. So there is muscle tissue, then there is epithelial tissue, right? Then there is serosa, which is the outermost layer. As you can see, the innermost layer of the stomach, according to this diagram, is the epithelial tissue. Then the middle layer is the smooth muscle tissue. Then the outermost layer is the serosa, right? So these different types of tissues, that is the muscle tissue, the epithelial tissue, and the serosa, they combine to form an organ. In this case, the stomach. So we have different types of organs in the human body: the stomach, the eye, the liver, and so forth. Now, when the organs themselves combine, so that was the organismal level or the organ level of human organization. Now, when these organs combine, different types of organs combine to form a system. For example, the digestive system, which is shown and indicated in this diagram, is made up of the mouth, the salivary gland, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, the pancreas. All these are different organs with a definite shape or recognizable shape, made up of the small intestine, the large intestine, the rectum, and the anus. Now, all these different types of organs, they combine to form a system which we call the digestive system. If we go to the circulatory system, the blood, it's made up of the blood vessels, the heart, and other structures. If we go to the nervous system, it's made up of the neurons and so forth. So that's the system level. Now, when all the systems of the human body combine, that is the lymphatic system, the cardiovascular system, the digestive system, the nervous system, the integumentary system, which is the skin, and all other systems, the endocrine system, the musculoskeletal system, if all those systems combine, they form a human being. So in simple terms, this is the organizational levels of structural complexity. This is how the human body is organized. So in summary, the human body is organized at chemical level, at cellular level, at tissue level, at organismal level, at system level. This is how the human body is organized. So the chemical level, the atoms combine to form the atom. The atoms combine to form the molecules. The molecules combine to form the cells. That is the cellular level. When the cells combine, they form the tissues. And when different types of tissues combine, they form the organs. When the different types of organs combine, they form the systems. Now we've got a complete human being. Until next time, thank you so much. Welcome to Sir Robert Chidok Tutorials. Learning is 24/7.